Hello friends, in this video I wanted to share a quick update and give a quick overview of the new auto debit rules set by RBI. These rules have already come into effect from October 1st, 2021. So initially I think on December 4, 2020, RBI had come up with a framework that all recurring payments that are linked to cards like credit card, debit card, or mobile wallets or UPI will need to be additionally authenticated by the user before they could be processed. And as per the initial direction from RBI, this rule was supposed to come into effect from April 1st, 2021. But since majority of the large banks in the country as well as the financial institutions were not yet ready for this kind of a change, mainly because they didn't have such a kind of framework in place, that's why they needed additional time, and RBI extended the deadline till September 30, 2021. But from October 1st, that change has already come into place. So what will happen post this change is let's say before this change, let's say if someone had a Netflix subscription, a monthly Netflix subscription, and they were paying for that subscription using their credit card or debit card. So previously, every month on a particular date, Netflix would actually debit the amount from the bank through the card, and that would not need any additional approval from the user, because that was like as part of the initial mandate that the user had created with Netflix while taking the subscription. But now, in order to enhance security and customer convenience, RBI has introduced this regulation. So starting from October 1st, 2021, banks would have to notify the customer 24 hours in advance that within the next 24 hours recurring payment is due. And in that notification, banks should provide the customer to either change that request, modify that request, the next transaction request, or if they want, they should also be able to cancel that transaction. That option should also be present in that notification which the bank is sending to the customer. And let's say if the amount of recurring payment transaction is more than rupees 5,000, then at the time of transaction, customers would also have to provide an OTP to approve that transaction. So previously this OTP was not required, but now this OTP will have to be provided by the customer to approve the transaction if the amount is above 5,000. And if it is less than 5,000, then they won't need to authenticate with OTP, but banks would anyways have to inform the customer about the transaction 24 hours in advance, and customers should be able to either modify that transaction or cancel the transaction if they feel. So I think the main objective of this regulation from RBI is to enhance security measures in digital transactions through cards, keeping in mind the different fraudulent transactions that have happened over the years, and also to increase customer convenience and trust in the financial system in the country. So what all things can be impacted and what all should not be impacted, right? So your things that can be impacted are like your OTT subscriptions like Netflix, Amazon Prime, or anything else that previously you were paying with your card. Then all utility payments like mobile bill payments, broadband, electricity, land, gas, anything else. What all should not be impacted are like your normal bank transactions, for example, bank to bank transfers, for example, if you had set up a recurring monthly transfer from one account to another, then that will not be impacted. Also, if you are having a recurring deposit, that should not be impacted. If you have any insurance premium set up for recurring auto debit, or let's say mutual fund SIPs, these also should not get impacted. So basically any transactions that used to happen through cards or mobile wallets would come into this new regulation. So what can you do if you want to avoid this, right? If you don't want to go via the normal OTP approval process on a monthly basis, so what are the things you can do? So I think there is not much we can do at this point. Only two options are open. Either you can cancel that recurring payment and then go back to the old way of paying directly at the merchant website or app, on a monthly basis. Or another option is, you can also, if possible, if that option is possible and it is given by your bank, you can register that merchant as a biller in the bank's bill pay section and enable auto pay. So in that case, if you have added that merchant as a beneficiary, so not as a beneficiary, as a biller, and enabled auto pay, then that will not come under this new rule. Then the monthly debit will happen without any additional factor authentication from your end. So hope this video was helpful and you now have a good idea of what is the new auto debit rule. So please share this video with others and post your comments and let me know what you feel. Thanks for watching.